Two clubs here, each looking to rebound from a Week 1 loss as we're underway on EA Sports.
And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's 2nd down now.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He finds his man complete. It's Peters. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Yeah, big play there. And when you have a running back that you can use like a wide receiver, when he has that kind of versatility, you do as they did there. Get him out of the backfield and give those defensive backs something else to worry about.
On 1st down, it's Peters.
They nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
They go play action here on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
The Saints had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener. And listen, they knew last week they were in for a tough fight on the road, but now here's the home opener and a chance to get things right.
And I like the way that you presented that, because the bottom line is they didn't come out of that loss discouraged. They just came home and said, hey, if we do what we're supposed to do, protect our home turf, we'll be just fine.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and that'll leave them with a 3rd and 2.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
On 3rd down, Peters. Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. They'll run on 1st down. It's Peters. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
You look at this Packers defense.
They're currently 6th in the NFL in defending the run.
Most of their challenges have come in the passing game, because against the run, they've been pretty darn good. Now you've got to figure out a way to slow down those receivers before they get downfield and maybe make a few more plays on the ball when it's in the air.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Peters. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. That's good for a 1st down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive. And defensively, these corners struggled last week. They're struggling again here early on the opening drive.
And you know that was not unnoticed on tape. So when they saw their struggle last week, guaranteed they went right into the game plan, attack them early, see if they're going to play any better, and if not, you keep the pressure on them until things change.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. 2nd and 11. Back to throw here. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Saints get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback. And we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. Love going to break the huddle, lead the Packers up here 1st and 10, right at the 30. A quick throw. Here's Shepard. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He was unable to shake free there. They'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
And we constantly talk about people being on the same page. In this situation, the two of them saw the play with the same eyes. They understood where the open spaces were going to be, and they found a way to get there to pick up a new set of downs.
And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
On 4th down, the Packers called on Daniel Whelan to punt. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
Looking sideline and connected. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Marshawn Lloyd, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Packers are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Extra point right down the middle, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They had the interception last drive, led to the tying touchdown, so 7-7 the score as they begin 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he powers his way up past the 30. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on 1st down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
2nd and 5. He finds his man complete. That's Peters. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It'll be a Saints 1st down on a pickup of 13.
And they'll use him out in the backfield and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
And they'll send the tight end in motion left. On 1st down, it's Peters. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up the midfield.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
Now a give right side. Sullivan. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
Here's 3rd and 6. He'll look to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Packers are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the 2nd time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. These two teams all tied after one. The Packers with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Here's Love. Looking for Shepard deep. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tyson Campbell. And the Saints are going to take possession here at their own 33. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess that allows for extra yardage on the return.
And he pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards, 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Here's a 2nd and 7. He finds his man complete. That's Peters. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
And they've used him in the passing game to great effect so far. And here they get it to him again on the screen. And it turns into a nice positive play.
On On third down, Peters. He will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on third down. Back to throw now on first down. Flushed out right. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it's second down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Second and 6. He finds his man complete. It's Sullivan. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Well, they gave up a few yards there, but all in all, I think it's a pretty nice job defensively against the jet sweep. If they don't slow him up, he might take it to the house, so they'll take that play every time on the defensive side of the ball.
Now a give right side. It's Peters. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Peters. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Second and 2. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. There he goes, right side. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick 6. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick 6.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 14-7. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line. Looking to throw. He finds his man complete. That's Peters. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Going up top. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
This will be fielded at the 17. A nice return there of 11 to help me. Good punt, and it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They'll start on the ground here on first down, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Love. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Lloyd. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of you.
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Saints are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to nerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one, or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal. Had an open man that time and ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Throwing. Love. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And the Saints are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Flush to his right. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception.
And the Packers will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years, but here we go. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Love looking to throw it.
This is caught. It's Christian Watson.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A big completion there, and he gets out of bounds to stop the clock.
Very heady football. That allows them the opportunity to go ahead and line up and kick one right before the half ends.
So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will do it for this first half. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. A 10-point game, 17-7 the score as we get back to it on EA Sports. And we will not see a return of the dynamic kickoff. And the first drive of the second half will commence from the 30-yard line. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
Now he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. Now Love. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Ryan Brzee fought in and got him down.
On now is the Packers punter. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Packers pick it up. Now the return will stop right around the 25.
I remember sitting in special teams meetings, and at some point during the meeting, the coach would always say, you better treat this one just like you're playing offense or defense. It's a big part of the game, and we just saw evidence of why right there with that fumble.
Yeah, fumble on the punt, and after it was turning up to be a pretty decent return.
Yeah, a really nice return. They were going to be set up okay, and the offense would feel good running onto the field. And now the defense has to try it out there and try and slow them down.
Play fake. Here's Love. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
You tell they wanted to get that ball downfield. They had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Love from the gun. That is caught. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Love, they go play action now. He finds his man, complete. It's Lloyd. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. To pass, here's Jordan Love. Dancing to his left. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11. Working out of the gun, Love. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And it's a Packers touchdown. Marshawn Lloyd. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Packers are able to widen their advantage. Extra point attempt here still to come. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd and a yard. Now a give, right side. It's Sullivan. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more.
Ordinarily in short yardage, most people don't run a toss because it takes a little bit longer to develop. But some teams see it as a very physical type run because the amount of people that get out in front of the runner, offensive linemen, tight ends, sometimes an extra back. They like to run that play there and try and run over people.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. They'll set up to throw. Taking a shot for Dell here. And now here's another interception. And the Packers are going to take over at their own 11-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Following the interception, Love. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Love now.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
And then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
He's going to sling this deep downfield. He's got a man. Complete.
Down the right sideline.
Touchdown, Packers. A big play there. His third touchdown now on the year.
And the Packers are able to add on to that lead.
Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well. And that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And they won't want to admit it to themselves. But we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
And now an audible here into something else.
They'll keep it on the ground. Peters shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there.
63 yards rushing for him now to this point.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of a tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
On third down, it's Peters. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
From the gun, here's Rattler.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted.
And the Packers will take over here at their own 12-yard line.
Well, they definitely figured out something defensively at halftime, Charles. That's now 2 drives and 2 interceptions here in this 3rd quarter.
And I think the easy thing for us to say is, boy, they made an adjustment, didn't they? Or they showed him something different. I'm not so sure it's that as much as maybe he's just been impatient and forced the ball a little bit. In any event, as you noted, back-to-back interceptions thrown.
To throw now. Here's Love. And got his man complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. It's a gain of 34.
Everything's been going right here in this one. This offense, they've been in complete control from the outset. And here's another big play. These kind of routes have been open all game long, and they continue to take advantage.
They'll run on first down. Lloyd, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. They'll motion the tight end across the formation. On 2nd and 12, Love.
Over the middle, complete. It's Stevens. So the completion good for 7 there. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
On play action. Love to throw. And that is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Now 2nd and 9. Here's Rattler. He's going to let this one go deep. And it's intercepted. And the Packers are going to take over at their own 41.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 41-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
And he's going to have a Packers 1st down as they're able to convert on 3rd and short yardage with a gain of 4.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to, pick up a 1st down.
On 1st down, it's Lloyd, and there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football. Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A great effort there. 39 yards. And the Packers have sewn this one up as they add to their lead here in the 4th. Now, the PAT would extend their lead, but there is a flag on the play. Well, trailing here in the fourth quarter, and that personal foul, that only adds to the hole that they're currently standing in.
Yeah, absolutely a bad job of just losing your cool and letting your anger take over. Mistakes like that, not going to help you at this stage of the game.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start this drive out on the ground. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4. 2nd down.
Nice chunk of yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
They'll try the left side. It's Peters, and he'll get this up to about the 40.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
The Saints on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. 4 yards there as they let him out of the pocket, and he got enough for the 1st.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And this is incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Now a handoff up the middle. Peters, and he'll get it down to the 47 here. 87 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing. Because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
That his 1st catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a 1st down there. They'll set up a throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
1st and 10 at the 18-yard line.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And the Saints are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line. And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a 1st down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline, because he certainly wants him to finish this one out the way they...
And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Now the extra point. And the lead is down to 24.
Makes the score 38, 14.
The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30.
At their own 30-yard line.
And they take a knee. And they will take a knee here. Well, this was a really nice display, Charles, of complimentary football, especially how much they were humming in the second half to pull away and get the victory. Really a complete performance.
And so much fun when you're able to have everyone contribute, both sides of the ball. You go back in the locker room and you just savor it, right? Because that's what football's all about. A true team game, and they got it done in this one.
So for Green Bay, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one.